The stage is yours, GM.
Alrighty. So where we left off last week, you honestly got your asses handed to you. Fully did not balance last week's encounter the way I thought I did. In my defense, I rolled like trash for everyone but the bad guys.
Yeah, Florida, poor Florida, just getting dragged away.
Having your kineticist turn on you is not an ideal turn of events.
Thankfully, he never connected.
Yeah.
God, right? He rolled great until I needed him to. So, you found yourselves in the Shadowfell. You quickly, after some mishaps with magic with our Kappa friend Michellangelo, determined that this was not the place for you. Attempted to return back to the ship, which ended up taking our entire time, because you were attacked by just genuinely nightmare-inducing fey creatures known as fear eaters, which information your characters wouldn't have, but this is a third-person kind of narrative. And
we're sitting with Shopko.
Watching.
That's right. He is an observer. And barely managed to get all of you out. And that last fear eater to run away. Dr. Inwood has his first specimen to study, and you have, hopefully, ideally, navigated the city, for lack of a better word, the city, the mithril city that you've acquired, back to the Prime Material Plains at the base of the cliffs below the fort where you were based out of.
Yes.
You have no idea if you are in the correct location or the correct plane. You'll have to climb back up those cliffs.
Oh.
Or,
no.
I guess, that is entirely up to you.
Yes.
So we find ourselves back standing on the mithril lip around the cursed pit of gold next to the crystalline control panel of the city. Florida is not in good shape. Not in good shape.
Are any of us in good shape?
I'm in fine shape.
We have not long rested.
Marcus
ever.
is not in the best shape hit points wise. But other than that, he's doing pretty okay. I think Dr. Inwood is in the best place. He just doesn't have any resources currently.
Yeah. Health-wise, I'm solid, but no extracts. No more extracts for today.
No more mutagens.
Hey, I'm not feeling too well. If we could just sit down and maybe sleep before we go out and climb a cliff that I could fall off of and die.
As much as I would like a respite, I think we need to find out where we are.
We're right here! Look at the cliffs! They're there! We're here! We're here!
This could be the
beautiful,
Feywilds.
sunny Scotland summer day.
It's a beautiful day in Scotland!
This could be the Feywilds.
I have a question. What 3 places are there again? Fey,
Shadowfell.
Normal.
And yes, the prime material
I'm making a
plane,
note.
what you would label as normal.
Looks normal to me.
When you were down in the water, when we were in Shadowfell, you say you didn't see any fish, right?
Nope.
Why don't you hop into the water and see if you see any fish?
What if one eats me?
Just...
I'm tiny. Why don't you hop in the water?
Because I do not swim as well as you do.
Why not send your little turtle friend?
Very well. Don't touch the gold. Don't.
I think I should just come with you.
You should probably just
I'm just gonna come with you.
You should probably come with me.
I think we should all stay together. Marcus pipes up. Florida is currently just like sprawled out next to the door. Is just laying there. She's sitting at a solid 16 hit points.
I'm at 17! But she probably has more than me.
She has a higher base amount of hit points. I might have made your fellow team members con heavy.
Probably really smart.
So, but Marcus is like, I think we should all stick together. I'm not loving the idea of splitting up while we're still in enemy territory.
Well, lead on, Doctor. I'll just follow you. You
Very
and
well.
little turtle. What's the turtle's name again?
His name is Leonardo.
I knew it. I just remembered. I'm making sure I didn't forget people like Shopko. I forgot him.
Right. Yes. Well, let's carry on, shall we?
It was a test. I passed.
You're testing yourself now.
Yeah, maybe that doesn't work.
Delusions. Self-testing for instant gratification? Question mark? Interesting.
We're gonna go down to the water.
Yeah.
Dr. Inwood is the perfect straight man for this fucking routine. Oh.
We're perfect. We complement each other.
You make your way down the stairs. Still, again, each time you're going down, there are 15 stories worth of landings that you go down through. They do not appear to go anywhere. They're just empty space.
Mm-hmm.
You get down to the lobby. It appears, interestingly enough, that the charred and gorily dismembered bodies of the hosts have been cleaned up, and there is a cart, like a 1920s janitor's cart, just chilling out by the base of the stairs. But there is nobody down in the lobby.
This wasn't here before. Did you hire somebody?
When on earth would I have had time to do that?
Maybe there's a fourth host that we don't know about that cleans up when the other hosts die.
I suppose it's possible. Nothing here really makes that much sense.
Or it cleans up itself. What if this is part of the magic? This is some weird magic. You gotta admit that.
I will admit nothing.
Not even your name? What's your name?
My name is Dr. Alan Inwood.
Yeah, you admitted it.
Can we please find out where we
yeah,
are?
let's go. You're right. Yeah, we should probably go. To the water.
So, for sake of understanding the geography of the city, because the tower is dead center in this 5-pointed star. The closest place would be there are multiple inlets where you can drag up a ship like a dock ramp. The closest one is where 2 of the points of the star connect in the inverse V.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably about 50 feet is pretty short. It's probably closer to about 500 yards, with the total length of an arm away probably being closer to half a mile.
Wow. Dude, big.
Big, really big.
The city is not small by any means. And it appears that even though they are staying away from you, the kidnapped citizens have decided to just go about their day, and they're shopping, they're talking to each other. There are now children out running around playing. So it appears that overarchingly the city has decided, or the citizens of the city, or the denizens, I guess would probably be a more accurate term, have decided that until further notice, they are just going to go about their lives as usual. And they're just going to give you a wide berth. Making it to that first ramp is not particularly difficult.
Are they buying and shopping? Like they're...
What?
Are the people shopping still?
Yeah, I mean, the whole place is kind of just like a sprawling, loose thing of open markets. Looks like some of the houses have been converted into like stores inside some of the mithril buildings. Now that like people are out and about, you see that there are people that are like have fenced off areas around the houses and some of like the courtyards and alleyways. You see they've like fenced them off, and it looks like they're raising like small livestock. Like it looks like this city is relatively self-sufficient, despite the fact that the entire thing is made out of mithril. So you throw Leonardo into the water. I guess Dr. Inwood does not strike me as a person who throws his turtle. You probably gently place him.
Yeah. You place him on the ground, like at the ramp just before the water, so he can make his own way.
Which pocket do you pull him out
of? From underneath my coat.
Oh, okay.
So,
are you trying to see specifically where?
Yeah, I'd like to see specifically where.
Could you roll me a perception check?
Yeah.
I will. Do you want me to roll sleight?
Make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
A nat 20 with my perception.
Dang it! I rolled a 19. Total of 25. 24.
25!
Oh!
You got 24 though?
I got 24.
25. My perception is crap.
Okay.
All right. Because of the natural 20, you do actually see that Dr. Inwood is not only reaching underneath his coat, he's actually reaching through the like buttons of his. He like unbuttons one of his shirt buttons and reaches his hand into over his chest. You can actually like faintly hear this like squelching noise as he draws Leonardo out from, I'm going to guess, roughly around his rib cage.
Yeah.
That's adorable. You keep him really close.
It's all the better to keep an eye on him. He's gotten up to some mischief before. Go ahead, Leo. Go see if you can find any fish. And don't wander off too far.
Could you make me a survival check for Leonardo?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that is the skill in this edition.
Oh, instead of investigation.
I got a... Well, it's survival is for finding things in the wilds, kind of a...
And because I assume that his survival is probably better than...
Others?
Than...
His perception?
That is not true at all.
Well, he can also make a perception check.
His perception is much, much better than his
survival. Yes, I will give you that option. Perception or survival. I guess that was a faulty assumption on my end.
Yeah, his survival check is a +1. His perception is a +12. That's a 21 total.
21 total. Because he doesn't communicate with you till he comes back. He comes swimming back after like whatever. How much time are you telling him to get a feel for what's going on?
I'll give him like 5 minutes if he doesn't find anything.
Okay, so he takes his 5 minutes. He swims around. He comes back to you, crawls up onto the ramp that you're on. You reach down. You put him back into your pocket, and you get that like vivid flashback of memories and sensations. There appear to be fish. This is shallow-ish water near the edge of a cliff, so nothing's particularly big. A lot of like silver scaled fish because you're up near the North Sea, that kind of place where it connects up with the Strait of the English Canal.
The
That's
English
not
Channel?
right. The English Canal's on the other end.
Oh.
Geography was not a strong suit. It's that
The
portion
North
of the Scotland coast
The North
that's more southern than the actual North Sea itself.
Yep.
So there are definitely fish and seaweeds and plant life, and he did not see anything overtly supernatural.
Well, everything seems to be normal, shall we say, down there. That bodes well. Perhaps now we should ascend the cliff, or one of us should ascend the cliff, and verify that we are in the right place.
Okay. It just looks normal to me.
Would you like to climb the cliff and see if the base is up there?
Sure. Yeah. I'll just go for it.
Fantastic. Make me a climb check. The DC is actually going to be lower than it was in the Shadowfell because the cliff is not nearly as damp.
How does a 9 sound?
The 9 sounds like you'll be moving 5 feet up the cliff in 6 seconds.
Take a 10, right?
You can take a 10.
I'll take a 10.
If you would like to take your time, you are totally free to take a 10. Or if you would like to, because you are not currently in any actual danger for the first quarter of the thing, you can take a 20. It's just going to take longer.
Yep, that's I'll just do my 5 feet per whatever. It's fine. I'm small. I'll go.
What's your bonus for climb?
+5.
+5. You can take 10 and move speed up the cliff.
Excellent.
You are not in a big rush, and there's no immediate danger.
Sweet.
So it does take you a little bit, but
10 feet around.
you are kind of familiar with the path. The cliff face is physically the same as the one from the Shadowfell. It's just not covered in that same like dark gray slick lichen.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not quite as slippery. So you make your way up, and you pull yourself up to the top of the cliff, and you look around. Could you roll me a perception check?
24.
24. All right. Like we discussed when last session, the fort itself is not particularly close to the edge of the cliff. It's one of those things where it's an old hill fort, so it's not strategic for it to be on the cliff there. You don't see it. You do, however, hear just faintly on the wind raucous jazz music. And as you kind of look around, you can actually see maybe 100 yards down on the cliff edge, but down south from where you're at. So walking down along the cliff edge, a pavilion of tents, like brightly colored tents. And just on the wind, just vibrant, freeform jazz.
What? All right. Well, I'm going to summon instrument. I'm going to summon a saxophone.
Absolutely.
I'm going to match the tune and walk that way.
Oh my.
Absolutely. You walk that way.
The scald showing itself.
How quickly are you moving? Because you move 25 feet around, just walking normally.
20 feet. It's 20 feet.
20 feet. Okay. Sorry, I forgot.
I'm walking.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not running and you're not rushing, making your way over there, it's going to take you better part of a half a minute, 30 seconds to walk over quickly.
Perfect.
Or if you're like taking your time, it's probably close to a minute walk.
I will do a minute walk as I am.
All right. Could you make me a performance check?
Uh-huh. we should have done a percussion instrument. 10.
10. All right. Saxophone is not your best instrument by any means, but you just kind of get into the groove. You're going for it, and you actually about 50 feet from the camp, the music starts changing to match better with the tone and tune that you're making. They actually start improvising with you, and like you do a riff and they riff back, and then there's like this call and response back and forth as you walk towards the tents. They rolled well on their performance check.
Oh no.
So they managed to match with you, and they're feeling the vibe. As you walk through, there's just tents everywhere. You see there's like elfin, like fey, like looking wood women lounging near the edges of some of the tents. You walk past this bright red tent into like the courtyard of this like pavilion of tents, and there's this big band of just like this motley assortment of creatures. Like there's a faun on a trumpet. There looks like in the back this huge, like giant blue-skinned creature just on this fucking upright bass. Full, just big band. There's like glowing lights just kind of floating throughout the air. There's like not quite a mosh pit of people dancing, but it's like that same kind of like frantic all over the place energy, more like a rave almost, of like these beautiful olive skinned, dark haired women just dancing in like these like half torn, half removed like Grecian Roman clothes, and sitting kind of at the edge of the pavilion. There's tables all around where people are like eating and chatting, but at like this place of prominence near the stage, near the center of the pavilion, and almost like a throne, is this like pale porcelain-skinned woman with I like to think of it as like Ariel red hair, that like fake red that's almost metallic.
Mm-hmm.
She's got this goblet, and she's sitting. So her legs are over one arm of the throne, and her back's on the other. And she's just idly ahead of this just enormous black wolfhound. You're playing the lead singer is this lack of a better term, elf male, completely hairless. Like you don't see eyebrows, hair on his head, incredibly long, almost comically pointed ears. His eyes are covered by a silk like blindfold, in this bright emerald green blindfold that matches the emerald green of his. He's got like a button-up shirt. He's got a black, dark green, almost black vest, and these like dress pants that match. Completely barefoot, and he sings, and he's somehow managing to talk to you while singing, and you actually realize that he's singing in 3 separate voices, and one of the voices just says, "And who has joined us tonight?"
I will drop the saxophone and make drums, summon drums, and like start banging on my shell, I guess. Hi, my name is Michellangelo. What's your name?
Welcome, Michellangelo. Please come, pay your respects, play music with us, dance, get a drink.
What?
Welcome to the court of our fair lady. And he bows while continuing to sing in this language you don't understand because you don't speak Sylvan, but it's just this raucous jazz. And he bows towards the lady in the throne, and she lifts her goblet up towards you. And as you watch, this for lack of a better term, woman made entirely out of water brings a chair and sits it at the table with and it's a chair sized for someone your size, with like steps so that it comes up to the height of the table correctly, but it's got steps up.
Okay.
So you don't have to like hop up onto a tall stool.
Okay, who's sitting next to me, or across from me, or near me?
So if you were to sit at that chair, it would be the woman in the throne with the giant wolfhound.
I'll run up there, sit down next to her. Okay, this has got to be America, right?
Darling, no. This is Scotland, or at least this is Scotland as it should be. Free from any worries of war and constraint.
Owned
This
by
is-
America? No. Okay, sorry.
You may call me Siobhan. May I have your name?
Michellangelo, the first.
Michellangelo. That is a darling name. I think I'll treasure it.
Siobhan? It was? Siobhan?
Siobhan.
Isn't that like a color? I don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't know what chevron is a thing, but
That's a
that's not
shape.
a
Chevron is a shape. And as you watch, she reaches out. She puts her goblet down onto the table and reaches out. And standing on like this stand, like this specialty made like two-pronged stand, is one of those long like cigarette holders with like the long arm that like people bring up and then they'll take it up to smoke. And she brings the cigarette up to her mouth and breathes it in and breathes out this like vibrant light blue fluorescent smoke. That's honestly eerily familiar with your experience with the fear eaters. Like it's
Never mind.
it does share a passing resemblance to that
Okay.
color. And what brings a Kappa of the prime material plane to my little shindig?
Prime material. I'm the a ship. That's what brought me here.
What a ship. You pilot it all by yourself?
No, but I gotta press some buttons, and that was pretty nice.
Okay. Unrelated. Dr. Inwood, could you make me a will save real quick?
Yeah.
Unrelated?
It's a 3.
Excellent. You are sitting and you are waiting for your compatriot to come down to you. And as you're waiting, you're like, man, at some point you really should get introduced to this woman because you, for the life of you, can't remember her name.
Introduced to the
Kappa. The one you've been working with. You just don't. She never actually told you her name.
Huh. I'm quite drawing a blank here. Marcus, do you remember the name of the little Kappa that's been traveling around with us?
No, she never told us. She's been real secretive about it, which is odd, seeing how forthright and talkative she's been.
I know, it does seem rather strange. Especially since we
Florida looks up and says, the names have power. You wouldn't just give them to anybody, you know?
Oh gosh, no.
I suppose that might be true. That
She's
seems
such a
strange,
treasure.
though, because I remember us all talking when I first joined this little outfit and we were all giving introductions. She must have said her name then, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have dossiers on all of you.
I wonder, is she... No. If we were back at the fort, I could check my records. I have a copy of, or I have the original of the contract that she signed.
That would be useful, yeah. You know, it was probably in Japanese, and that's probably why I'm drawing a blank.
It could be. I have not much experience with the Far East, admittedly. Though perhaps I should change that.
Yeah, you're right. It would probably be rude if we just continued to not know our names because we don't speak Japanese.
I meant more experience with the Far East itself. I'd like to visit sometime.
Yeah. Maybe not when we're in a war.
Yes, perhaps. Although, who knows? Maybe duty will call us there.
Yeah. Could you make me a perception check? Just...
I certainly can. Yeah, that's a 28. I can roll well for that.
28. Phenomenal. As you're like talking with your group, you are like trying to pay attention, waiting for your coworker to come down. You like faintly on the breeze, like there's this moment where the like wind just gets enough where it comes down to you, and then it like stops. You can actually like just like faintly off in the distance hear jazz, like good jazz too.
Good jazz.
Do you hear music?
No. They both start looking around. No.
Could have swore I just heard music. Jazz sounded like.
And as you say that, Flora, you're just like this horrified look on her face.
Not a fan of jazz.
Music on the wind, and we don't remember the name of someone who we sent out alone. We're in the fucking Feywild, and she just starts climbing up the cliff.
I guess I'll climb with her.
Switching narratives while they climb up the cliff. Michellangelo, well.
Justin, I would just like to say that lately with games like D&D and Pathfinder, I have been paranoid anytime there's an NPC asking for my name for no reason. And I'm like, today is the day that I don't care, because she wouldn't care. And I said the name and I was like, yep, she wouldn't care. And it's the day that it matters. No!
Siobhan is, she doesn't talk a lot. She's like listening to the music. She'll close her eyes and she'll look back. You say, can we bring you anything? We have drinks. We have food. She like whisks and like
soda?
Gestures, like kind of like flipping her hand over to like a grouping of tents.
Do you have soda?
We have a collection of seers if you wish to purvey the future.
Oh.
We have something to smoke, and she lifts up her cigarette holder and then takes a drag.
What about?
If you wish, you may join our band. It's a party.
I would like.
And as interested as I am to know you better, I understand that I can't, as a host, monopolize everyone's time.
Yeah. Okay. Great. First question: is there soda or pop here? Second question. Third question: does the fortune tellers, can they read the future and the past?
There are a few that have that skill. Many. We have a few. There's a who's here today? There's the Star Seer left. There's a fortune card teller. I believe there's an augur.
Great.
Well, I guess if those two do not suit, or whoever else is at the tent do not suit, our esteemed singer speaks with the voice of prophecy. You might find that singing and playing music with it might produce knowledge of the future with you.
I am so tempted right now by so many options.
Give in. You have time. Indulge in them all. A party is part of temptation.
Okay, great.
Or temptation is the soul of a party.
Yeah. Soda first. Is there soda?
She leans over, and that same like watery woman just kind of like flows over. Like she walks and she's physically walking, but there is like this very like fluid, liquid grace to how she's moving. She says, Marilyn, darling, please bring our esteemed guest some American soda pop. And she comes back, and there is a glass bottle of, I believe Coca-Cola was a brand during World War II.
2 or 1?
I'm sure it's been around for...
1, sorry.
Let me look up how long it's been
During
around.
World War I.
Shoot! What if soda hasn't been invented yet?
Sarsaparilla.
I didn't even think about
I
this.
believe
Root beer is very old.
I
Like
don't think that old.
1800s.
sarsaparilla at least.
It was used as a medicine.
Okay, like 1767.
Yeah, Coca-Cola is
Really?
1880.
Oh wow, that's
when
awesome.
Carbonated water. Dr.
That's
Pepper's
from when it
Cigarettes.
actually had like Coke in it.
Wow. December of 1885 was when Dr. Pepper was sold for the first time.
Mm-hmm. We've had that for a decent amount of time. So they bring you over a bottle of Coke. They open it up for you, and then they pour it into this like elaborate and blue pour.
Oh, you cut out for a second there. Hello?
You're all good. You cut out for a second too.
Okay.
So they pour the bottle of Coke for you into this elaborate ceramic cup that's like green and blue and similar like colors, and it's patterned after like a turtle shell all around it.
Whoa.
Like it's bespoke in a lot of ways, and they leave the glass with you, and it's perfectly shaped and sized for your kind of hands. And you have a glass of Coca-Cola.
Oh, I am drinking it.
All right, could you make me a will check, please?
Oh no. Oh no. It's not great. 12?
Okay. Yeah, you're drinking your Coca-Cola. You have options. There's the band, who already proved you guys play well together.
I'm going to go to the singer, and I'm going to ask him, hey, Siobhan said that you can, like, tell the future, or we can play music. I love music. Can we, like, prophesy something?
The gift of the voice of the future is one of my gifts. And again, he's speaking in one voice while singing in two other voices simultaneously. I must warn you that there will be a price for asking for knowledge. And you will only get 3 questions.
Oh, how much does it cost?
It depends on what you're looking to see, how hard it is to see, and how well you might negotiate.
I have about 48 wands sticks that make someone virtuous for a moment.
Tell me, what are your questions?
All right.
And as he says that, he reaches down, and as he reaches down, the like brambles and like grass that's like near the edge of the stage grow up until there's these steps of interconnected like plant life up to the stairs, up to the stage.
Okay, first question. Is America better than this place? I just have to know. This place is really cool.
Play with me.
Ooh, she will, yeah. She'll, use her boombox in her shell.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
DJ Nike.
I'm gonna have you make me a performance check. I will have you know that he rolled a natural 20 on his.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, wow.
And I get a +5.
What you lack
7
in
total.
skill, you make up for in enthusiasm.
I'm like trying to break dance with it.
It's interesting because there's a lot of ways that the music that is like loaded and built into the speaker system that you were gifted is not music of this era.
Who knew?
It is not your, and so there is a moment where the nature of jazz and the nature of the like 80s hip hop beat that come rolling out do not mesh well, but they recover and they flow into it. And there's this weird melody where they're still distinctly playing jazz, but they're playing jazz to the inspiration of an 80s hip hop track.
Wow.
And he starts singing, and there's like this overlap of music and noise. And then all you can hear is him singing. And then all you can see is him singing. Colors and words and shapes come just flowing out of his mouth as he sings, and it's beautiful and it's blinding. And then all you can feel is him singing. You can feel the words. You don't understand them. You can feel them wrap around your skin. You can feel like the gentle caress of his like high alto voice, and then like the reverberating comfort of the bass voice as his alto just wraps you in this like hug. And then all you can taste is him singing. And it's like a buffet unlike anything you've ever eaten before. Taste and sensations, salt, sweet, sour, all of it commingles into this beautiful melody on your lips. Beak.
Tongue.
Whatever.
Then at the end, all you can smell is him singing. And it's the smell you associate with America. Hamburgers. Cheeseburgers. Pizza.
That's all food.
That's the only food they have there.
These smells. And then you just hear and you feel and you know that as wonderful and inspiring as America is, it quite can't match the raw, majestic beauty of a place so tapped into nature. Like, you know to the core of your being, the Feywild is supernatural, not because it is unnatural, but because it is more natural than anything you can find on the prime material plane. It is wildness and joy and rage and hunger and anger and all feelings and all things that require life requires to survive and thrive at its physical manifestation. And there is a brief moment before you were brought back into the song as you heard it at first, where your heart breaks knowing that your dream is a lie.
Oh.
But America is still wonderful.
But this place is where I'm at. That's better. I'm going to attempt to play a song in Discord. I'm not sure. I I haven't listened to it at all. We're gonna see if it goes.
Oh.
It's a jazz cover of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, classic.
I imagine this is what we're playing.
Yeah, something along those lines for sure.
But with
As
80s synth hip hop in the back.
You have 2 more questions.
Oh gosh. I would like to know when's the next time I'm gonna see Shopko?
The next time you're gonna see Shopko.
Oh, that might be an expensive question.
Could you roll me a performance check?
$19.
19. All right. Again, you tune the music a little bit better to what they're doing. You've like zoned in on what the vibe is, and as soon as you do that, they start moving and shifting what the song feels like. And this time, it's like singing about the rainbow. It's like singing about that light of like raw, unnatural power that you saw in anytime this mysterious figure did something supernatural. And you're fully aware that this entity, this creature, does not exist within the time or the timeline that you are part of. And there is a certainty that you will see this creature again. And there is a profound uncertainty on when that is. As if time does not even know where he exists.
So the answer is that you don't know, but you're sure that you don't know, and that no one could know.
And you're also sure that you will see him again.
And that you'll see him again. Wow, that's crazy. When am I gonna die?
Roll me a performance check.
You really gonna ask that question?
I'm asking that question. It's a 10.
10
It's
total?
a 10.
Total. Yep. Yepers.
You begin to play your music, and you're confident in the sounds that you're making, and the music breaks off. It becomes discordant, where they can't quite match the songs and the sounds with you. And it even gets to the point where the 3 separate voices that he's singing in are singing in different keys, and they've lost continuity with each other. And then they start singing in different languages, and they don't match up. And he looks at you, and you can't see his eyes because he is blindfolded, but you can tell that he's staring you straight in the eyes, and there's this look of just profound apology. And he says in English, in Japanese, and in a language you do not understand, I'm sorry. And the song just didn't fit this time. I just don't know. You rolled a 1.
Oh.
Oh.
Try a different question.
That's okay. I mean, that's like all I get, right? 3? Just 3?
3 questions. And 3 favors owed.
No, I gave you my wands, right? It was.
That you offered the wands. I did not tell you what the price was.
Oh. Okay. Well, what do you need? I can go get you some pop.
Nothing now. I'll let you know when I.
Not 3. Not 3. Oh, for the worst kind of question. Well, okay, technically you didn't answer 2 of them, so really it should just be 1 favor. Right?
He leans down, he says, and he leans like a perfect 90-degree angle at his hips, right? So his legs are still perfectly upright, and he's just like right at your head height. It's honestly unsettling. He just says how it works.
Well,
I gave you honest, offered attempts to see the future. And I did answer 2 of them to the best of my ability. And the third, well, that's a tricky question. You got more fate on yourself. You got more fate here. And he taps lightly where your Kappa heart would be. You got more fate here than anything that the web of time will sing through me.
what's your name again?
I didn't tell you.
What is it? Please.
You can call me Kevin.
Kevin! Kevin.
He pulls back and says, I've been fond of that kind of Anglo-Saxon name.
Kevin.
It's a good one.
I'm cool jumping over to Dr. Inwood.
And that's actually what we're going to do. You're going to actually, having walked up, you'll at the edge of the cliff, you do see the edge, the grouping of tents about 100 feet south of where you climb up. Up to you on how you want to approach. There is jazz music, and there's like this funky, like electric. You would actually, with your experience with time-worn technology, would have more experience with that kind of noise. Not necessarily with the music itself. There is somebody playing a electronic instrument with this big band music. Until there's like this horrible, like discordant grouping of it.
Florida, have you had experience with the Fae before?
Anyone who lives in Scotland does.
Any advice?
Don't eat anything, don't drink anything, don't let them give you anything, don't make any deals unless you know the full term. Don't give them anything. If they ask for your name, tell them what they can call you.
Very well.
Literally all of those have been broken.
Let's go fetch our wayward Kappa. Whatever her name is.
I think it was Sarah.
Let's go fetch Sarah then.
Wow.
You make your way through the tents. Again, similar sights. You see there are people lounging in the grass near the tents. There are people as you come through past the tents into the pavilion. The ground itself is like cobblestones that have been grown over with grass. So it's like a grassy field grown over cobblestones in this like nearly perfect circle. There's a stage where your friend Sarah, or your coworker Sarah, is currently chatting with this blindfolded elf who is just like bent over so that his blindfold is at eye level with her. There is a big band of like miscellaneous non-human creatures. And there is a throne near the center with a mysterious woman. There are also, and then there's the vibrant collection of partygoers, fey creatures, you assume.
Interesting. Well, let's cut straight to the heart of it then. She's gonna walk up. Oh, Sarah, we've been looking for you. We have to get back now? Did I stutter?
No, it's just that my character calls you by your name. And I realize that I'm about to say your name. Oh, hey, hey, Doctor.
No. Let's just get back to our vessel and find our way back. This is not home.
Why'd you call me Sarah?
That's your name, isn't it?
Oh no, I'm forgetting everything.
I'm sorry.
As that like clicks in with you, you realize that you fully do not know what your American name is. You remember what the name your parents gave you is.
Oh my. It's not. Maybe it's Sarah.
Are you having difficulty?
Doctor, I'm having trouble.
How about we get back to the vessel? I think there's quite a bit of magic here, and I think it may be.
There's pop too. You want some?
No.
And it's like you say that and he knocks it out of your hand. Florida is just swearing, and she just leans over to you, and just quietly whispers, "Did you drink any? Did you eat anything?"
Yes. This is so good. Did you know that this thing is
Shit.
better
Fuck.
than America?
Shit.
This
And
guy,
just walks away and just like swears like she guys are like
Sarah,
back
we need
to
to
you.
leave right now.
this guy tells the future.
I am not interested in the future. I'm interested in getting back to where we need to be.
Did you make a bargain?
I owe him 2 favors. Kevin.
3 favors, darling.
3 favors I owe him. So, you know, I'm
You
waiting.
fucking what? You what?
This is the last time you are doing recon by yourself. We need to leave now.
I'm gonna kill her. And she puts her hand on you, Dr. Inwood. She's like, we can't leave yet. She drank their food. She cannot leave until they let her leave. Until the host says that she cannot be that she is allowed to leave the party. She's accepted guest rights. She has rules. Otherwise, we will be attacked. And this is a high Fey court. And she points at the woman in the throne. That is a Fey noble. That is a Lianshi, a patron of the arts. She will fucking kill us.
Oh, her name's Siobhan. Florida.
Wonderful. I feel terrible for the woman that she stole that name from.
Oh, I said her name. Oh, Frank. I said Florida's
We have
name.
to deal with the lady of this party to get the right for Michellangelo to leave, or we have to leave without her. I, for one, think we should leave the fool to her fate. And she walks away.
Did Florida say my name?
No,
Oh, okay.
not once.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm gonna lean down to Marcus and like quietly, Marcus, can you please watch after our rather
I'll make sure she doesn't get into trouble.
yes, thank you. I'm going
He puts
to
he puts his arm around you, and he's like, why don't we go take a walk real quick? And he, loud voice, we will not leave the party, but I feel like a walk, maybe.
I will do what I can to try to untangle this.
What's up, Kevin? Do you want another song?
If you want to play with us, we're here.
Is that a
And
favor?
Marcus is like, no. We're gonna walk for a little bit, maybe.
Oh, I'm coming with you. I thought
You're going with Marcus.
you guys were gonna go.
No, you are going with Marcus.
Oh!
So you don't get in any more trouble.
I'm going with Marcus. He's the dwarf. Be right back. We're not going anywhere though, cause I need a refill on my soda.
No, you don't.
Marcus is like, here, take some, drink some water from my canteen.
Just start walking with him. There's lots of soda here, though.
We will get you soda when we get back to base.
Oh, are you coming with us?
Not right now, but I will join you, hopefully, really soon.
Okay.
So, Dr. Inwood, as you make your way to the table with the lady with the throne, which is who I assume you're going to go talk to.
Yeah.
Sometime in your conversation with your team, someone brought a large, comfortable leather armchair, not dissimilar to the ones that are in like the studies and offices and libraries in Oxford. Please sit.
I'm fine. I will remain on my feet, thank you. I do far too much sitting.
Understandable.
I would like to beg that you will excuse my friend. We have much business we need to attend to. And
she just got here. She's livened up our party immensely. Her music is quite unique. I've heard nothing like it.
You have so much here, so many musicians, artists, dancers. You certainly won't miss one small Kappa.
But her art is so unique and vibrant and alive.
And yet, if she were to stay here, would it become common to you eventually? Best to let the memory remain unique, I think.
Roll me a diplomacy.
Oh, it's a good thing that I actually have pretty good diplomacy. And that's a nat 1. That's a total of 10.
Oh. She laughs. That is unique tact. A unique tact for sure. And as she's talking, you realize that it doesn't quite click with you until she laughs at you. That she's speaking Reptoid fluently. And doesn't appear to be like making any face about it. And she says, so rare to meet a novelty such as her. I'd like to foster her passion for music. She's already given so much to be here. I'd hate to cheat her of her time.
Is not true music derived from the deepest feelings of the musician's heart? She's seen so little. Perhaps it would be best for her to continue her journeys of the world and find more that will inspire her.
That is indeed the nature of music. I would not dream of holding her forever. A caged bird sings such poor song. But she's yet to see so much of what's here. Nothing here has become bland or blasé to her. She hasn't even entered any of our hints of enjoyment, any of our novelties, any of our world seers. And she leans up and blows like this cloud of like that same fluorescent blue smoke that she's been blowing this whole time. She points into one of the hints. Over there is a troll augur who can use his own entrails to tell the future. Where will she see that other outside of here? And she leans over and she points at a group of like 4 or 5. It's kind of hard to tell with how they're dancing. Olive-skinned women, like Grecian clothes. Those are Bacchae. They are the high priestess of Bacchus Dionysus. Gift from a friend. They can show the natures of desire unlike any the world can see. I think you'll find that for the short term, your friend will see much more of the world here than she will anywhere else, especially on a dreary, magic-poor, war-torn world such as the Prime Material Plane.
And what, may I ask, does short-term constitute for you?
A year, a decade.
Our definitions of short-term are not the same.
This is true. This is true, but even then, it does not matter. If you choose to leave the Feywild, the definition of short-term itself changes as you cross the plane. This conversation may have taken decades in your world's time. You will not know until you leave. So what harm is it in having her stay a little while? You staying a little while, eating, drinking, being merry. You strike me as a man who's interested in the workings of all living creatures. You are, and she reads you for a second. You strike me as a man who wants to understand how nature itself works. What better place? I can bring you a nymph to dissect alive.
As tempting as that may be, it would be done under contract, unable to leave when I wish.
Only if you negotiate poorly. And only if you desire to stay.
Consider how wonderful it is here. All this magic and art happening. Our impressionable young friend, the Kappa, I am not so sure she would want to leave. And then she would not have the war-torn, dreary world, as you say, to inspire her. Yes, there is a great deal to be inspired by joy and experience and enjoyment, but aren't some of the greatest artistic works born from grief or sorrow from tragedy? She couldn't find that here. And if she were to stay, I don't think she would ever find it. And so you would hold her back. So you're faced with a choice of keeping her here and stifling her ability, her talents, her gifts, or you let her go, knowing that at some point in your lengthy life, she will perhaps return. Wiser, more inspired, more deep.
And she leans back and she starts petting the head of her wolfhound. You speak with the tongue of an artist. I had you pegged for a man of the sciences. I was wrong.
Is there something saying that I cannot be both?
Not at all. I just had you pegged as only one. You exist in the overlap.
One must be careful with prejudices.
Indeed, I should. I will admit, you speak with cunning. She holds up a finger. I will give you 3 offers to turn down at your leisure, to accept at your leisure. My first offer, and she slides over, and it's something that she like very carefully pulls out from one of her pockets and slides over to you, a embroidered off-white handkerchief, like ever so slightly green, but opalescent in its like silken nature, and it's edged in like very fine lace, almost like so fine that it's not quite there.
Mm-hmm.
My first offer is, and she pulls her hand back, is unconnected to our conversation of your friend. I offer you a minor boon, a gift with no strings attached. She says that very clearly. Purely out of interest to see where a creature with the mind of science and a heart of a poet will go. My second offer pertains to the release of your friend. There is, to the north, a peat bog where I lost a ring some years ago. If you return the ring to me, I will return your friend. Or, my third offer, I will trade your friend's freedom for your firstborn child. Oh, let me... Actually, I, the GM, am going to rephrase how she says that. I will trade your friend's freedom so that I may have your firstborn child. Think on it. Enjoy the party. Listen to the music if you will partake in no other means of our gifts. She points at the handkerchief. My offers will stay until you accept or decline them. I'm in no rush. And she takes a sip from her goblet.
And this first offer, you say no string attached, no costs, no price, no expectation, no limit?
No limit.
And also no cost.
And no cost. No strings, no favors. Just merely a wonder on how you may proceed. A boon to aid you in further discovery.
Does that mean that you would do something for her?
No, she would do something
for you. Interesting.
I will consider your offers. I think a nice walk would help me mull things over, if you would excuse me.
Take your time. Enjoy your walk.
I'm going to go over to Marcus and Sarah. And Florida, maybe, if she's even there.
Florida has stormed off and stormed back and stormed off and stormed back. Like she gets close to you, sees you, starts swearing again and leaves. And does that a couple times.
To Sarah or to
Sarah, yeah.
Oh gosh. Hey! Where were you? Were you playing the music? Did you get
No, I was not playing any music.
Did you ask for the 3 things? What did you ask?
No, I spoke to the hostess of the party.
Oh, Siobhan?
Yes, Siobhan. I was able to negotiate some terms of your release, of sorts.
Excuse me. Release?
Yes.
From what? I didn't never... the favors?
You accepted drink.
Yeah.
From the host.
That's polite.
Yes. However, it also means that you've accepted their... How did Florida say it?
Guest rights.
Guest rights. You cannot leave this party until the host releases you. If you were to attempt to leave, I dare say it would rather end poorly for all of us.
How close are we to the cliff?
Please do not attempt anything rash.
The edge of the pavilion is the cliff. Like, it's a semicircle of tents at the edge of the cliff.
Never mind, I forgot I'm at 17. Actually,
I almost imagine there's a moment where your eyes like dart to the side of the cliff. I'm like, please, whatever you are thinking, don't do it.
Now I want to try this, because if I can't leave, then it means that if I do try to do it, it wouldn't work.
No, you can physically attempt to leave. They will kill you if you try to leave. And
worse,
us,
probably.
Doesn't that like defeat the
worse.
purpose of? They want me to stay,
They're
but
Fey.
if I try to leave, they'll kill me.
They are Fey.
So then-
They do not think the way that we think. What makes sense to us does not make sense to them, and what makes sense to them does not make sense to us.
There's a lot of no sense that I have.
Yes, which is why it was a very bad thing that you did.
Oh.
You were supposed to find the fort. If there was no fort, you were supposed to come down and tell us.
You didn't tell me that. There was music. I don't see the fort. I think we're in the wrong.
Yes, I think we're well past that point, Sarah.
I don't know if that's my name. Why do you call me that?
Because it's the best I've got.
Okay, we are not on the prime material plane.
No, we are not.
Which I have written on my hand. I'm pretty sure that we're in the Feywild.
Top marks. You are 100% correct.
Which means that we drove not...
No, please go on. Continue.
We drove here rather than where you were trying to go. But I like it here. Did you know this place is better than America? It is. I don't want to go to America anymore. I like to stay.
Marcus gets this confused look on his face. Aren't you from Texas?
I'm just gonna give a look to Marcus, like, no, like, seriously?
I mean, yeah, I'm from...
Sarah.
Yeah.
Have you considered the fact that you are under the effects of magic?
I didn't think about that.
Have you
till this
considered the
moment.
fact that magic has been warping how you think and how you perceive things? Think back to the bridge of the vessel that we came here on. You were on the gold, and it warped your mind as it warped mine. Do you not think that magic could have done something similar here?
Magic is so bad. I can see why it's like not common.
Sure, that's exactly why it's not common. Exactly.
I'll never play my instrument again.
You can play your instrument, you just have to be careful around magic. It is good if you are careful. It's not your instrument that has done it. I think it is more related to the Fae and the nature of this place. You've just inadvertently stumbled right into it. But it's okay. As I said, I may have negotiated a way for us to get out of this.
Okay, how?
We have two options before us. The first one. Siobhan has misplaced a ring some years ago in a peat bog north of here.
Oh, does she want a new one? I've got a bunch
She
of
wants us
sticks.
to retrieve the one that she lost.
Oh.
Either that, or you can have your freedom in return for she gains possession of my firstborn child.
Leo?
Leo is not my child.
We treat him like he is, right?
Yes, he's a dear friend. So dear to me, I sometimes feel he's a part of me.
Weird.
As most people who have owned pets feel.
I wouldn't know. I think I had like a gerbil once, but I squished it on accident.
Right. Let's move past that.
Okay.
I really don't feel like that is an acceptable option for me personally. So
why not?
Would you, if our roles were reversed, if I was stuck in this mess and you were trying to get me free, which of those two options would you feel more comfortable with? Would you rather go to a peat bog looking for a ring, or would you like to trade your firstborn child for my freedom?
How far away is this bog?
I didn't get into details yet. I wish to discuss the options with you. Marcus, Florida, any input on this?
Marcus, like, I agree with you. The ring sounds innocuous. It sounds kind of like a pain in the ass, if I'm being honest, but...
I doubt that it is going to be so simple as going into a swamp and finding a ring. I'm sure something has the ring, or there must be something more complicated. Florida, am I wrong in assuming this?
Florida's like, odds are, giving her the baby's a better, safer bet.
I mean,
She doesn't. I doubt she offers that if it's as the final one. I'm sure she couched the worse offer in between the two benign ones.
maybe you should get details on this bog and how far it is, and what's dangerous, and what's in it, and if we could die, and if we do die.
There were only two offers, Florida.
Oh, sorry. DM knows more than the character does. I'm sure she led with the more benign sounding offer to make the second offer sound worse. They have a tendency to be the worst option to be the less terrible option.
I mean, I'm only like 15 years old, so it's going to be a while before I have kids, but you have kids now, so you could just like, I'm 16. So if our roles were reversed,
I believe Marcus is the only one with a child.
Technically, Marcus won't have children until after World War II.
That's right.
He's not even married yet.
None of us here have any offspring.
Florida's like, I got a few.
Why doesn't...
I don't think any of them are alive right now, so I doubt it'll be helpful.
Oh, I was going to say maybe Florida...
My firstborn is definitely dead.
Oh.
I'm going to try to work past that and the deep concern that brings me.
What if you just, like, never have kids? You just agree, like, yeah, when my firstborn's born, you can have them, but, like, you just never have them. Do you want kids?
It's not really a question.
It is, if it's an option.
That I'm going to consider at this time.
Do you want kids?
Currently? No.
Then what's the problem?
Currently. Later on, I may.
Did I hit a sensitive subject with you?
No, just one that has not been fully considered. And
is it because you don't have a girlfriend?
We're going to move on from this line of questioning.
Can I sense motive to see if he has a girlfriend?
You are free to do so.
I rolled a natural 18, so 23.
I don't...
It's up to you.
Did I write anything down for this character's...
I do not believe there is any information currently on that.
Unless let me check and see if I put anything in Roll20 real quick.
Title of this episode: Does Dr. Inwood have a girlfriend?
Which, I guess I don't know.
Like, all my other characters, I'm so careful
Would it have been
not
in-
to, like, say my name or accept things from them or, like, how I answer questions. Oh!
Oh, I was so stoked when it was you.
Yeah. 'Cause
Oh.
she's gonna do everything. She's gonna do it all. It's just how fast she can do it.
Oh,
In Florida being
you just right in, way deeper than I thought you were going to go.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, it's so good.
3 favors!
I don't think I ever wrote anything down. I guess
That's like
I need
level 10 and
to. I
stuff.
need to
Like,
make a roll. What did you get?
23.
Okay. Let me. I need to get my phone. Hold on.
Okay.
Relationship status. It's complicated. Seriously.
Okay. Remind me again what your sense motive check was.
23.
Okay.
Asking about if he has a girlfriend. We were asking about relationships and why he's so sensitive of not wanting to give up maybe a child, that he doesn't really want kids right now. But maybe later he will. In an unrelated note, in the other campaign, Jacob is playing a Fey human who was given up as for a deal as a firstborn child given to some Fey.
Classic.
So, yep, he lived his whole life so far in the Feywild.
Oh man. Leave it to Jacob to come up with the angstiest backstory with fairies.
Well, the funny thing is he's like super lighthearted and like.
He just wants to know about humans.
Yeah, he wants to learn about humans. You know, he's just.
That makes sense.
He makes contracts all the time. Like, writes them out in detail.
Yeah.
It's very cool. What do I know?
All right. So looking at Dr. Inwood, your best guess is he probably doesn't have a girlfriend and probably is just more married to his work more than anything. And it's like, the more you kind of think about it, the more you know, is like, of course, his first and true love is this doctor shit. Like, you don't become a doctor because you want a girlfriend.
Clearly.
But he doesn't seem like super upset. He just seems like this is kind of coming out of nowhere for him.
You know what? I'm pretty smart. I think I figured it out. You're just worried that your first... What was the wording she used?
Firstborn child.
Yeah. Like, you love your work so much. It's like you're married to it. And, like, when you work on a project, it's like your baby. So maybe you're just worried that she's going to take away whatever it is that you discover or do as a doctor of medicine, because that's what you do, right? You fix people. Maybe it's going to be the first baby you deliver. It's not
First
even
off,
yours. Not even yours.
I had not considered that a scientific discovery could be considered a child. That did not occur to me, although perhaps it should have. Second off, I am not the kind of doctor that fixes people, and I certainly don't deliver children.
But if you did, you'd give it to her.
It would not be my child.
Even worse. Right?
So what you're saying is instead of going into this bog to find a ring, and instead of giving her my legitimate firstborn biological offspring, that instead I should find a pregnant woman, deliver her child, and then use that child as a means of settling this debt.
What if it's a Fey child? What if there's someone here that's pregnant right now? Help! I need a doctor.
I don't.
Fine, let's just go do this ring.
How about I ask more on the circumstances and the details surrounding the ring, the location, obstacles that may be encountered.
And ask about if it can be someone else's child and if there's any pregnant women here.
Very well. I will return.
You return, and she's shifted positions because it looks like her greyhound or the wolfhound has wandered off. So she shifted into more like a normal sitting position, and it looks like she's just like reading out of this book while music's playing. And you approach. Do you sit down? The chair is not left.
No. I don't sit down.
She looks up at you and she says,
"Oh, I sat down in a really nice chair."
I've already decided that it's unlikely that I can learn your name, but is there something I could call you? Besides handsome.
You may call me the doctor, is fine.
Of course, doctor.
The doctor.
Have you come to some decisions, or... No, I feel like you have come with question.
You are an astute observer. I have several questions. The first several with regards to this missing ring. First question, I suppose, is this peat bog, how far away is it?
Maybe a half day's journey north. More, she points over in a kind of westerly direction. More northeast. It's still fairly close to the coast.
Northeast or northwest?
Northwest, sorry.
This peat bog, is it home to malevolent creatures? Or rather, creatures that would be malevolent to us should we attempt to recover this ring?
I don't believe so.
Is there an approximate location where you think the ring may be?
Oh, yes. There is a small, for lack of a better term, island of solid ground near the southern edge of the bog. On that island is a quaint little hut where a friend of mine used to live before she witch hunters, you know?
Quite.
Anyways, quaint little cabin, and I placed it down for a dalliance with a young poet. In our fervor, in our travels, we left before I remembered I'd taken it off. It should just be in the hut itself.
With regards to your third offer, what constitutes a child to you? A living, breathing, biological offspring? Or is your description...
Yes. Oh, I suppose the nature of what I asked. Your firstborn child would not necessarily would have been born alive. If it's stillborn or is dead, I suppose I include that misfortune on myself for a poorly phrased question. But no, an heir of your bloodline, first in a union between you and a woman, or any capable of bearing your offspring.
I just thought of something.
What did you think of, Zach?
How familiar are you with genetics and genetic compatibility?
The term is not familiar in its entirety, but I am familiar with bloodlines, and I am familiar with the passing on of traits. Mindela also had the heart of an artist.
If you are so keen to have my firstborn child, you could simply have my firstborn child.
And she smiles and she leans forward. Good, you understood the request.
Did you just agree?
No, I didn't agree. I was clarifying. What... I'm not familiar with Fey anatomy, nor your capacity for childbearing. Most terrestrial mammals or creatures have certain time frames in which they are capable of conception. Is this apply to you as well?
That won't be a problem, no. And she leans forward and she whispers to you, and you get this sense that the reason that she's been speaking Reptoid this whole time is because she's under a constant effect of tongues.
Mm-hmm.
And she's speaking to you without that effect, but still in Reptoid. And in terms of compatibility, that also won't be a problem. She winks at you.
I'd like to make a perception check.
Go for it.
Is it a one?
Yeah, it's a nat one.
Aww.
I don't suppose even with a nat 1, a 10 gets me anywhere.
It depends on what you're looking for.
I'm specifically attempting to see through a
Altered shape?
a change shape. Although, actually, I'm pretty sure that even if...
So I'm going to actually, I got to look something up because I don't remember what her modifier is.
What is
Because she also rolled a natural one. Fun fact.
Nice.
So...
Oh, wow.
What is happening?
So, like... Look at that.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you rolling metal dice?
I love rolling metal dice.
I roll metal dice too. I even made the comment, I think it was today, that rolling normal dice doesn't feel right anymore because they feel too light.
No, it's too light. Like, I love normal dice. Like, Lex got me the Dice Lab dice, which are fun and very, very pretty. But it's just so light. It's wild.
I know. Yeah. Especially the D20s.
Huh? Interesting. She does not have a disguise skill rank.
Huh.
So let me check.
You're not one.
Mm-hmm.
The frick are you? And what is she?
Interesting. So yeah, she's only got her charisma bonus, which I mean is still a 6. But so what was your total? It was 10, right?
10.
So she is not the same species that you are thinking of.
Okay.
She is very clearly a Fey, but a Fey who can change herself to look like any humanoid that she wishes.
Okay.
Provided it, you believe, you would assume there might be limitations on gender, but like you're honestly not sure. And really, what is gender to a Fey? Quite a quandary.
I must confess, you have piqued my scientific interest.
She leans forward, but have I piqued your artistic interest as well?
What's he gonna do?
I'm trying to think of some way this could backfire.
How can it not backfire?
I'm like trying to think through contingencies of how this could go wrong.
Okay. I mean,
what?
All of it can go wrong. From where Jessica stands, Dr. Inwood has his own opinion and own motives.
I
don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're thinking. What are you thinking? What are you going through? You're seriously considering the third option and taking it, basically.
Yes.
So then take it and we'll see what happens.
I would say that
your son's name
my
is James.
artistic curiosity has been piqued as well.
Then do we have a deal?
Well, you cut out for me. I couldn't hear you.
He said, do we have a deal?
Please outline the terms of this deal specifically so that I am sure of what I'm agreeing to.
In exchange for a no strings attached release of your compatriot, the one you call Sarah, specifically, I will have your child, and we will make that child before you leave, before your friend is allowed to leave.
Making the child, do you constitute conception as child or childbirth as?
I will accept conception as an act of good faith and act accordingly.
Did you by chance take my compatriot's name as well?
It was a gift freely offered to me, yes. Michellangelo. It's a name I think I'm going to use quite often. Does not ring familiar to you, and you kind of forget it the moment she says it.
I would request that you return her name in addition to releasing her from this court.
What the hell? I'll just find a few more Italians if I want a pretty name. You know what? An act of good faith deserves an act of good faith. You may have the name Michellangelo.
To me?
Just out loud, and it rings to you, and you suddenly remember that that is your American name.
Marcus, I remember my name.
I think I remember too, Michellangelo. You feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the doctor's doing.
Hopefully, not getting us deeper into a mess. But I don't trust my words, and I don't think Florida is going to be able to talk to her without trying to kill her. So I think we're going to have to trust that the doctor get us out of this.
I think one last issue to be resolved before I accept or decline. You have not specified a time frame.
I suppose I have not. Once a child is conceived, you may leave. Your friend may leave, and that leaving is contingent upon that act of good faith. The time leading up to that, entirely up to you.
And you will not play coy or hard to get.
No, I will not play coy or hard to get. Though, where's the fun in that,
You
Doctor?
are insane.
I don't trust the
To
swamp.
be fair, you were both playing not super stable characters.
You don't trust the swamp?
You know nothing about me.
I don't. I don't. That's the thing.
Very well. I accept your offer.
Oh, no!
Shall we begin?
I suppose there is no time like the present. Though if you would give me at least time to inform my friends, my compatriots.
And she, of course, I will, I think I will retire to my tent. And she stands up and she walks off to this ornate purple, like multi-room tent.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Howdy.
I think that I have.
Which one did you take? Are we going into the swamp?
I think I have managed to make it choose the least painful option. We will not have to go into the swamp.
Oh.
You have your name back.
Yep.
But there is still business for me to complete here in order to secure your freedom.
I'm gonna pretend that Michellangelo doesn't know about the birds and the bees. What's that then? What do you need to do?
Oh, you bloody fucking fool. Did you make the deal that I believe you did? As this just gargantuan, scarred woman just looms over you with this look of like utter like astonishment.
Wait.
And almost like bewildered pride.
My dear Florida, I have no idea what you're referring to.
You
God, you're perfect for the face.
Can we go? I don't want to go.
You cannot leave until I have finished my business.
I don't want to go. Marcus, I want more soda.
Marcus puts his hand back on your shoulder. He's like, I know. We'll get some when we get back to the fort. But
regardless of if you want,
I believe the soda here is poison. Like, I think it's what's making you stay here. It's a mind-affecting poison.
Oh crap! Oh no! Well, I have to stop drinking that. I'm not drinking it, but because you knocked it out of my hands.
I did. Regardless of if you want to leave or not, I have already negotiated your freedom, and I must satisfy the terms of that contract. What you do with this is your choice, though I urge you to return back to the prime material plane with us.
What about your firstborn?
That's about to be handled. Please keep her out of trouble.
Marcus looks like Marcus right now.
Actually, keep yourselves out of trouble as well.
He kind of just like plops down, and then this stump of stone shoots up to catch him as he sits. I hope we're not going to be here for very long. Not an indictment on you, Doctor. Apologies.
None taken.
Anyone else want a seat?
I'm going to head off.
All right. And we...
Flash forward 10, 20 minutes.
Or... I don't...
20 minutes. We're going to call it a flat half hour, just purely for time management, with like an overall, since like you guys landed in here, being probably about an hour and a half.
Oh no, because we have to know how long we've been here. Crap.
Which is literally the only reason I would ever keep track of how long
a tryst goes for.
Oh my gosh. Disgusting, Doctor. You don't even know her.
No.
All right.
But it was that or risk everyone's life in a peat swamp in the Feywild.
Do we go back to the ship? Safely?
You can go back to the ship as soon as the doctor comes back. The doctor comes back.
Hey!
Yep. We are free to leave.
Is Leo okay?
Leo is fine.
Is Leo still there?
Leo is still there.
Oh, good. Okay. Let's go.
After you.
I will go. And I want to get to this ship.
You guys head back. You get to the edge of the cliff where you can climb down to the ship.
Slowly.
Takes you a little time, but the climb down is not too hard. Once again, finding yourself climbing down back onto this ship, having climbed up the cliff, looking for this fort, only to be utterly just like thwarted.
I'm rather getting tired of this cliff.
Why don't we just see if the ship can fly up so we can look without climbing next time?
We could try that, I suppose. How tall is the tower?
The tower is
15 stories.
I think we decided it is 150 feet, so you technically could be able to see up the cliff.
Wow.
It's just not facing the cliff right now.
Oh, we could turn the ship next time.
Yeah, let's do that next time.
Yeah, it's technically taller than the cliff is.
You're telling me that this whole episode could have been avoided.
Also, last episode, technically.
Oh my goodness. Well, that one was at night. Maybe there was a different... Alright. Can we press some buttons? Can I press some buttons?
Ship. Please.
You make it to the ship,
Yep.
and you make it back up, no problem.
Please take us to the prime material plane.
Is the janitor's thingy still at the bottom of the stairs, cleaned up mess and all?
Nope, it's just all cleaned up, but there's nobody in the tower still.
There's no janitor cart?
Nope.
There is definitely somebody here.
A mystery to be solved once we return back to where we're supposed to be.
Why don't we just take like a rest? Oh, right. We wanted to do that on the normal plane. Okay. I'm really tired though.
As am I.
Having like a sugar crash. Wow.
Take it how you will.
The button pulls itself out from the floating cloud of buttons down to the center of right by your hand, Dr. Inwood, and it's just glowing softly. You press it. I'm going to have you roll me a 2d4 and tell me each number separately.
Please. First is a 3.
Okay.
And a 3. 2 3s.
3 and a 3. All right. You press the button. There's like that same shifting, gearing, grinding noise as it leaves the plane that you're on. Could you roll me a D100?
Not Kansas anymore.
We jump forward 100 years and suddenly we
79.
see in Seattle.
79. All right. There's a shift, and you find yourself once again tipped slightly sideways on the dried, sandblasted desert plain.
I'm beginning to think the ship is conspiring against us.
Why don't you let me try it?
Very well, be my guest.
Buttons are
No,
getting
just-
pressed.
Just the one.
Okay, you reach out to press. What are you thinking the first time you press the button?
Let's make the scenery change again.
Make the scenery change again?
Yeah, like, you know, let's jump planes.
Is that what you're thinking?
I'm thinking, how many buttons can I press? This is honestly what I'm thinking. How many buttons can I press? I just want to press some buttons.
You just want to press some buttons. You reach your hand out, and a swarm of buttons coalesce and shrink, so they're all about the size of your hand. And you press them, and they all light up as the dome around the shield reappears, and the crystal shield, the control console that you've been with before, disappears along with all the people in the city below you. And there is an eerie quiet.
Oops.
Michellangelo, are you even trying to get home? Do you want to return to where we are supposed to be? Because so far it doesn't seem like you do. You need to control your impulses. Can you go invisible again?
Nope. Not until I take a rest. But here, I'm gonna think about the big button that changes the plane and push on the window.
Your hand goes through the empty space where the console once was.
This didn't work.
Looks like we are taking a nap after all.
Oh, hell. All right. In attempt to secure your location, Marcus is going to erect a stone wall in front of the doorway to block off any entry. And he's also going to fill in a stone wall where the console was, just so there's not an open. It's not dry or hot. There's no like temperature outside, but it is kind of weird. And you are at like a slight angle. The floor is, as the city is like tilted because it's no longer in water.
I'm gonna go sit as far away from the treasure as possible. And just secure myself down so I can't roll in my sleep onto the treasure. And I'm gonna get into my shell, all like tiny little amount that I can, and try to sleep.
All right.
Leo, if anyone attempts to enter the room, please wake me up.
Fantastic. You guys take a thing. Are you going to set a watch?
Well, I've asked Leo to be the
Leo
watch.
is the watch.
Fantastic. Leo stands up for a watch. I guess, yeah. If that's... Then you take a sleep. Ba-ba-ba-ba.
We only heal so little. I only heal so little.
Everyone only heals 5 hit points.
I
Well,
know.
whatever their level is.
Yeah.
Really? I'd forgotten about that for Pathfinder. That's rough.
You can waive it. You're the GM.
Nah, that doesn't sound like a ton of fun. We're not playing a grimdark setting. You get full hit points.
Thank you. Otherwise, it would take days for us to get through encounters.
Yeah, that's a portion of Pathfinder I don't particularly love.
Well, it's also using the assumption that a normal, balanced party has a cleric in it.
Oh yeah, and
I feel
healing in that nature is totally different than. Fantastic. Could you guys roll me a D100?
Both of us? Or just
one or the other.
You can do it.
57.
57. Oh, I lost my page.
Oh boy, there's more than one page.
Oh, it's a random encounter for table for each plane.
Oh, great.
Okay, no. You sleep through the night and nothing happens.
Hallelujah.
It's uneventful.
My favorite words. I once did a session in Curse of Strahd that was literally in real life 2 hours of a long rest that we were surviving.
Now, let's say we don't press every button imaginable. Can you please bring us, make the console appear again? Try to contain yourself.
I'm gonna listen to you from now on. Because you're really smart and I'm not.
I would appreciate that.
I'm really sorry about pressing those buttons.
It's okay. Just please learn from this mistake.
There were so many of them.
I am aware. That is part of the problem.
Okay. Alright, I will stand up to the window. Marcus, can you get rid of this thing?
Marcus gets rid of the earth. He just literally turns it into like sand and just pushes it out the window.
What's it look like outside?
Same sun-scorched, huge, vast desert, and you can kind of see like out in the distance this long, almost like a long caravan of like wagons and stuff, like just walking across the desert.
I have a really smart idea.
I'm listening.
So, if this thing can jump around, if we ever make it to a place that we don't want to be in, we can just keep coming back and changing it again, right? Till we get the right one? That's what we're trying to do.
Assuming that there isn't some kind of fuel source that we are going to be depleting.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Alright, I'll go invisible. Vanish.
You vanish. The console is there. What are you thinking as you reach out?
Make everything visible to the normal eye.
2 buttons slide down and like flash right next to each other.
Boop. I press them at the same time.
You press them at the same time. First thing is the screen and all of the people below disappear from your invisible sight. You are still invisible till the end of your invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of your group, you can see Michellangelo as you, who is invisible and kind of like outlined. That's actually an excellent.
Ooh.
That's an excellent question for myself.
Or because it's
Excellent.
split.
And as you appear, Michellangelo, you appear and you see Marcus and Florida are staring at Dr. Inwood. As you turn, you see him in his suit, but he's a lizard person. He's got scales all over his body, like kind of like a dinosaur almost head. And he seems, and Dr. Inwood, as you kind of like glance around and you see that Florida and them are staring at you, and you kind of look down at your hands, you can see your human disguise, but you can also see through it to your natural form.
I think I messed up.
Oh,
I turned you into a thing.
I think I have something that can fix this. Hold on.
Wow, I said to see things as they are.
Of course you did.
It tried to fulfill your request as best it could to make everything that is invisible visible.
Well,
and the best way that it could do that was to give everybody true sight.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Well, this is rather peculiar.
I really think I messed up. There were 2 buttons instead of 1 this time. Last time I only pressed 1 button. There were 2 flashing ones. I pressed them at the same time.
What were you thinking when you...
I wanted to see things as they really were again. You know, like this needed to reappear and the people down there needed to reappear.
The more that we use this facility, the more I think that it's somewhat faulty. It can't bring us back to where we want to be. It's made me appear as something.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's not dissimilar to your mutagenic form, which I guess Michellangelo has not seen, but it is actually, and actually, Marcus goes, "Oh, I get it. It's your the form when you drink your mutagen. I think it's trying to show us both versions of yourself."
That must be it. Alchemy does have some rather queer side effects. Let's just try to get back to where we need to be.
Okay. Do you want me to do it, or are you going to do it?
I will do it.
I'll go sit down, strap myself down where I was again. Which is, I guess, under the desk, but is bolted down or something. I don't
The
know.
desk?
Yeah.
You're going under the desk? All right, make me a will save.
The desk is on the gold chest.
Never mind it. No.
I'll go hide on that desk,
Farthest
right in the sea of the
away
gold that
from
I'm
the
trying
gold.
to avoid.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Your intelligence is pretty low.
You could do it. Mission Impossible, just rappel down from the ceiling. Yes, well, let's go back to the prime material plane, shall we? Hopefully.
Roll me a d4. 2 d4s, technically.
3 and a 1.
All right. That same jolt and like this whining, like whirring noise, and the heat intensifies as you find yourself floating in a vast sea of lava.
Nope. Let's try again.
Good thing this thing's made out of good metal.
2 2s.
2 2s. There is a jolting, whirring noise, and you find yourself back at the cliff in darkness, in night. But it has taken into consideration your desire for the tower, and it has rotated itself as it has landed. It has at least that level of control over its spatial orientation.
That's nice.
Make me perception checks to see if you can see the fort.
Ooh.
It's a 14.
23.
Too dark, Dr. Inwood. Michellangelo, there's nothing out there. There might be like a faint blue glow, but there's nothing out there.
There's the things again.
Say no more.
Do you want me to roll? Do you want me to try it? Or
I rolled a 3 and a 1 again.
Have Marcus do it.
My dice are loaded.
Have Marcus do it.
Jolting, I'm going to have you roll me a D100.
Oh my gosh.
40. That's not good.
40. I mean, you were there for like maybe a minute, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah. Oh, is it? How about you let me roll?
Yeah, you roll. You
land back in the sea of lava before.
I will roll. You can press the button.
Very well.
1.
Okay.
And 1.
All right.
There's
There's like this shuddering noise, and you remain in the field of lava.
Let's try this again. Boop.
Boop.
A 2 and
Okay.
a 1.
2 and a 1. All right. Again, jolting. There's like this high-pitched, like re-entry shaking noise, and your true sight is ripped from you guys. Like the magic is just utterly like dissipated, and you find yourself back at the cliff, kind of like Twilight. And you are facing the edge of the cliff.
I'll see if I can see the fort. 16.
28.
Nice. Looking out. Yeah, fort, the tarmac. It's all there.
Finally.
Are we back?
I believe we are, yes.
I'd like to get off this ship.
As would I. Quite the odyssey we've undertaken.
Fort is like, and I hope it's our regular time.
You and me both.
Let's go out there. I'll... Wait, see if you can, like, fly one of the points up above the water. Can it fly? Like, to the cliff so we can walk just...
Ship, can you move so that your deck level, for lack of a better word, that the deck level is even with the top of the cliff.
No buttons move.
Ah.
No. It would appear that it does have limitations after all. Can you erect some kind of ladder or means of traversing up the cliff?
It pauses for a second, almost like it's trying to think. And then you watch as some of the buttons like deconstruct themselves and like shift and reconstruct into separate symboled buttons, and then like stop and like deconstruct themselves again until there's like this new button shape that it looks like all the others because they're all this like weird circular formations of cobalt blue, and you can't like discern what any of them are, but it feels like unlike the others and like unique and distinct, and it floats down in front of you.
Now here's the question. Do we climb up the cliff again, or do I press this button and hope that something helpful happens?
Marcus is like, everything that happens with this city has been unpredictable, unreliable, and oftentimes downright dangerous.
Maybe we should just climb it. It's worth it. It's fine.
I agree.
All right, we're gonna go climb the cliff. Do you want me to go by myself this time?
No.
Great. Can I go
No,
with
I
you?
think we're all going together.
Great. I like this plan. Can I be in the back?
You may be where you will.
Yeah. You guys make your way down. Again, no interference. It looks like your trip to the fire plane has caused a few fires with a few of the stands, seeing as you did not have the shields activated this time around. So there's a couple burnt bodies on the ground and a few burned down stands. And it looks to be a bunch of dead chickens in one of the alleyways.
Well, that is
I think that might be my fault. Oh, wait, no, you were pressing the button. Looks like this might be your fault.
Is that necessary?
No.
If anything is to blame, it is this infernal vessel.
Let's just go to the cliff.
You go to the cliff, you climb up. The amount of time that it takes to climb up, you do, by the time you get up there, all of you do see a, not a squad, but a unit of soldiers do appear to be running towards the cliff because they can see the spire of the tower that has just appeared. And you do have absolutely no idea what it looks like when it appears.
True. Hey, we're the strange rejects. We work with Sir Albert Landon.
Marcus steps forward and he starts just like he's like, my name is Sergeant Marcus Breccia. This is my team. We have, under strenuous circumstances, returned from a mission. And they're just pointing guns at you guys. And one of them's like, come with us. You'll have to understand that we're going to keep you under guard until you've been debriefed.
Do these guns look familiar?
Yeah, they're standard issue.
Or do they look futuristic?
No, they look standard issue.
World War I rifles.
We made it back in the right timeline.
Well...
Or time.
We'll see.
Okay. Okay, we'll come with you. I hope.
First question. What is the date currently?
He rattles off the date that you left.
Well, that's a relief.
You somehow managed to very minimally alter your time flow.
Well,
wow.
If one thing was to go right during that entire venture, I'm glad that was it. Lead the way, gentlemen.
And we had a long rest.
It's good to be home.
Dang, that could have been
Yeah. they lead you back to the fort, and they put you in individual debriefing chambers, and Sir Landon comes in. Actually, no, they keep you together. That it doesn't make sense to split you up just yet. Sir Landon comes in and is like, well, color me surprised. I did not expect results this soon. You've only been gone a few hours.
Yes, we may have warped time a bit traveling back. Has
EcoJet.
Has EcoJet returned yet?
No, we haven't heard from him. I mean, like I said, you've only been gone not even 2 hours yet.
We should probably send someone to go notify him that we have returned.
Wait. There's another me right now?
No. No, we haven't gone backwards in time. Time has just been compressed.
Oh.
For us, we have been gone longer than it has been here. It's all rather confusing, and we'll talk about it more later.
Okay.
Lance Caffedat has his orders. He will wait his allotted amount of time, and if you don't come back, he will return. So,
great.
Very well.
Just have to exercise some patience. Until then, what happened?
Well, we traveled to the designated spot to begin our search. We found a rather peculiar vessel, a city of sorts, in the waters off the coast. On board, the ship itself is made almost entirely out of mithril, I believe, and the occupants of the ship live there, engage in commerce. They appear to be from various different times, living peaceably, at least. I did not sense any kind of coercion, but I can only assume that they were, I don't know, there might be some kind of Stockholm Syndrome occurring, I'm not sure.
That hasn't even happened yet.
Very well. They may have accepted their circumstances and made the best of it, and no longer view themselves as prisoners. Either way, we made our way to the central structure, the tower, intent on speaking to whoever controlled the vessel to negotiate its leaving from the waters. Michellangelo and myself entered the central tower while Marcus and Florida remained outside to secure an escape route should one be necessary. We proceeded to the top floor to speak with the overseer of the vessel.
Call the governor.
The governor. At which point, Michellangelo befell some form of accident, fell out of view.
Befell.
I proceeded to talk to the governor myself. He was a devil of some kind. Seemed very intent on remaining where he was for economic purposes. And despite my every attempt to negotiate and convince him it was in his best interest to leave, he refused. So I decided that this vessel posed a danger to the crown and to her allies, and took it upon myself to remove the governor from his position. We then...
The gold is cursed, though.
We'll get to that.
Okay, just don't touch it
Yes. We managed to commandeer the vessel and travel back here by a somewhat circuitous route. Inadvertently activated some kind of planar travel. I believe we have traveled to Shadowfell, the Feywilds.
And the
If
normal
I
one.
am not mistaken, we also were on the plane of Earth, perhaps, and the plane of Fire briefly.
Are those planes?
Yes.
Whoa.
But we have managed to return here. We have recovered the vessel. Inside, you will find most of the inhabitants. We do warn you, however, that the ship itself has been wildly unpredictable, and so far everything we've attempted to do with it has resulted in unforeseen consequences. Also, the massive pile of gold in the control room at the top of the tower is cursed. Anyone who's standing on it for too long, I believe, will become the host for the Gilded Devil, thereby bringing the governor back into the control room. And I would advise against that, as he was rather difficult to dispatch. Did I miss anything?
Florida
I don't believe so.
got nearly eaten, I think, by something.
Oh yes, were beset upon by creatures in Shadowfell, of which I have recovered the body of for testing.
Yeah, and you brought it with you when you climbed up the cliff and all of that, I'm assuming.
I'm gonna whisper to Dr. Inwood. Should we mention anything else?
Was there anything
Yes.
else?
Is there anything else that occurred, Michellangelo?
I mean, we were jumping around the Feywild a bunch
No,
once.
just once.
Apparently, you should never tell them your name.
Yes, this is common folklore.
One that our friend is now acquainted with.
Yep. But it's okay. We made our way back, and I think we're gonna be okay. Have you hired anyone named Shopko?
The name is not familiar with me.
Okay. Never mind. Just lose my memory.
My apologies. I will dispatch some teams to take a look at this vessel, as well as I will request some curse breakers. He's kind of like mumbling to himself as he's writing in his pad.
Michellangelo, did you mention that there was a hatch in the bottom of the vessel?
Oh, there's some there's some hatch on the bottom of the vessel you can take a look at. It's got like, I want to say 6 triangles, but I don't remember.
You may want to look there. We haven't investigated the bowels of the vessel itself.
I will request some Marines then.
I urge caution.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll expect all of you to write out formal reports, but I think this will be good enough for our debrief.
Oh dear.
Dr. Inwood, I'm assuming you are going to request for the specimen to be brought back to your lab?
Of course.
Okay, I will note that down. Then, without further ado, I believe some rest and downtime is in order for you then.
I think that would be appreciated.
Right. And then, so what's going to happen? You'll make your way back to your barracks, your quarters, the medical facility in the back of it. You are going to have roughly a month of downtime.
What?
Cool.
So, and I think we're going to probably end our session right here, just for this.
Yeah.
So you're going to have roughly a month of downtime until your next, no, not a month. Yeah, we'll call it a month of downtime with like, you'll have done missions in that downtime, but none of them are particularly intensive or they're like, go find a witch who's really just a woman who actually knows how to do medicine and people just are fucking terrible kind of missions.
Like trying to track down new recruits, but having them be like dead ends or not what we thought they were.
And such like that. You also are going to level up for next session.
Ooh. Sweet.
And just think about what you want your downtime activities, things.
Absolutely.
You can just shoot me messages and I can let you, we can talk about that off screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Huh.
Well, awesome. I have already made my character sheet and I'm looking over it.
I'm
See what I picked exactly.
rolling hit points right now. Bummer.
Aw, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 3.
Aw.
That's alright. Where we're going, I don't need any hit points.
I need to see. That's where it is.
Also, EcoJet does come back. I know you were super worried.
Oh, good.
And if it's his fate, he does eventually come back.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's important.
He's fine.
Cool. I don't even know what powers.
There will probably be 0 repercussions for the events of your first mission.
Definitely not. Nothing could possibly come back to get us.
Nope, you have fully not stolen an alien city, pissed off a devil, and or made deals with the Fae.
That's not the only thing that was getting made.
And 3 favors are owed.
Oh, the 3 favors. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I did jump in deep. I gave them my name. I accepted a chair. I accepted
all the
a
things
drink.
you weren't supposed to do.
I was playing a song with them. I was like...
The chairs were actually fully innocuous. That would have caused you 0 problems.
Okay. Better safe than sorry.
Don't know.
That's fair.
Shoot. The 3 questions that were totally not worth it. They were just questions that she would ask, like...
That's totally fair.
Like, is this better than America? Yes. Oh, man. In the month, would I know that the Feywild messed with me, or is that...
You could make me a... let's do a general wisdom check. It's kind of like a self-meditation, self-awareness kind of...
Okay. Trying to just... because I'm bothered by it. So, a wisdom, I rolled a 17 plus my modifier at level 5 plus 1. So, 18.
18. You've done a lot of thinking on it, and you're not the smartest person in the world, and you're aware of that, but you are aware of who you are. You don't believe that the Feywild explicitly, like, overwrote how you felt. Like, not like the way the cursed skull did. You definitely don't feel like your will or your perceptions were taken away from you. You do think that perhaps a fairy fortune teller may not have the most objective view on what is better, even when it comes from a voice of prophecy. And you also wonder how invested he was in telling you objective truth. Like, you were definitely at a party, and there is something to be said for not necessarily being shown everything in its entirety.
True. Well.
But there is a part of you that is in love with the Feywild. It is beautiful by its intention.
Yep. Well, she's been to the Feywild, but she's never been to America. So she'll just have to go there and see.
Wait, aren't you from Texas?
That's what her dossier says.
I'm from New York. It's in America, or America's in it. It's like how she viewed it. That was like when she asked Marcus, "Where are you from?" He's like, "Oh, I'm from Seattle." Is that in New York?
No. It's a fairly common misconception. Washington is not Washington, D.C.
Clearly.